One must wait for the first winter frost to freeze the black cabbage leaves, making them more tender and tasty. Then the white kidney beans must soak at least all night, better if the whole day. All the vegetables must softly cook and finally boil after adding the Tuscan choco saltless bread. For good things take time, and this dish is worth the wait. Tuscan Ribollita, for people in no hurry and with a strong appetite. Let's start with what is a basic ingredient of Ribollita beans. To prepare them we need extra virgin olive oil, pepper, water, salt, garlic, rosemary and beans. These are dry and should be kept soaking all night or even better 24 hours, but I got ahead. Here they are. So, ready for soffritto, a drizzle of oil in a pan, garlic and rosemary to flavor. I'll add the beans. And cover with water. Let's leave them to cook. It will take about an hour. The beans are almost ready. It's time to add pepper and salt. Adding it at the end is better because it would harden the legumes if put too early. I can remove this sprig of rosemary. I'll scoop some of the beans, which must remain whole, and I will add them to the soup at the end. I will blend the rest to obtain a broth with which I will cook the soup. The other ingredients of Ribollita are stale bread, extra virgin olive oil, peeled tomatoes, pepper, carrots, thyme, chili pepper, onion, celery, potatoes, salt and vegetables, chard, Savoy cabbage and a canter without black cabbage that my granny would call bruschetta. But let's start with a nice drizzle of oil in a large pan. Let's turn on the stove. Let's start with the onion, which is the main ingredient of soffritto. It must be minced. And let's add celery and carrots. As you can see, I have left these a bit bigger. It's nice to have something to bite in a soup. I'll let the soffritto soften for a few minutes, and then I'll add the potatoes diced too. I will let the potatoes go for a few minutes too, and in the meantime I'm going to crush my peeled tomatoes. Let's put also the peeled tomatoes in the pot. I'll leave it to saute and I can take care of the leafy greens. Let's start with the Savoy cabbage. Firstly, I need to remove this internal core, which is harder. Then I'll julienne it. In the pan, and let's give it a good stir. Chard and bruschetta instead will cut them more coarsely. I'll trim the base, which is a bit worn out, and chop the rest. Finally, we can cover with the bean broth. Then I'll stir it, cover it, and bring it to a boil. We all know Ribollita is a leftovers dish, but perhaps you don't imagine to what extent. In the Middle Ages, the nobles used to eat their meals inside bread loaves called miense. At the end of the meal, those breads were distributed to the servants who, to feed themselves, would add them to their poor vegetables and cook everything, thus making what was the ancestor of the Ribollita, a very tasty soup. Here we are. This is boiling, so I can remove the lid, lower the temperature and cook for about 45 minutes, stirring occasionally. Here we are, the soup is ready and I can season with salt and pepper. I'll add the beans that I had kept aside, stir and remove from the stove. Here is my stale Tuscan choco bread that I have already cut into coarse slices. I'm going to form a layer of bread at the bottom of a bowl. And I cover it with some soup. One more layer of bread. And I keep going on until I finish the bread and the soup. And I leave it to rest, first at room temperature and then in the fridge for at least 2 hours. The bread must be well drenched in soup and the dish must look semi-solid. Here we are, it has set and we're almost ready to serve it. Let's uncover it and let's go pour our bread soup into the pan. And I bring it to a boil again. Now it really can be called Ribollita. I'll flavor it with chili pepper and thyme. And we're ready to serve. To make this dish perfect, only a drizzle of Tuscan oil straight from the mill is missing. But if you want to add a touch of past times, don't forget to chop a fresh onion and stir well. You'll see how tasty. I'm ready to dive into the good flavors of the house. Are you?
Bon appétit!